You don't know the power of the dark side.
Welcome to Star Wars Chatter, hosted by Andrew Van Zark. Now you're listening to Power.
So, hello and welcome to the Star Wars Chatter. I'm Andrew Van Zark, and this year's safe space was because Star Wars and music. And now, after all the troubles we had throughout the show, we can finally say that we have the most special person in the show. None other than Kiraitone. Hell yeah.
Yo.
So what's up, what's cooking, what's great, and how are we all doing?
I'm depressed because of seeing all the three movies back to back. Like, you had to pay my bill, like my therapy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get you some therapy, especially after everything that happens in episode 3, for reals. Because if you all don't know, we're gonna give our opinions from a Star Wars fan that has seen countless of times since 1999 till nowadays, from someone that has never seen it and is gonna give her opinions fresh 2023 of the prequels. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're gonna do here, and that's how we're gonna flow with things as of now. So, first of all, now that you've seen the whole entire original thing of pre-era of Disney, pre-Disney content of Star Wars, what is your opinion of the whole franchise in itself in generic terms?
My opinion in generic terms, I don't have an opinion. I'm just like, I love them. I love episodes 6, 1, 2, and 3. The other 2 are good. I just don't love them.
All right. And if you had the chance to rewatch this all over again, would you watch it release order, or would you go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
I will watch it release order again because the quality is gonna be like, oh, good, okay. Where are we going with this quality? And then good.
Yeah, well, speaking of quality, now you mentioned the quality, you're gonna feel really odd once you hit the TV series and everything that happens after Disney acquires Star Wars, because they changed the whole quality of it so extreme. It feels more overly produced nowadays, with more flatter colors. Everything seems darker, more horrific, rather than when you see, for example, the prequels that had a lot of CGI. It's more brighter in a way, and Disney era of Star Wars, they mix practical effects and CGI, so you'll have a little bit of that 70s flow with that 1999 flow. So it's like, what? So it's completely odd the way they flow with it, the way they have been produced so far. So yeah. So now that you know the whole story of Anakin Skywalker, does your mentality of Darth Vader changes? Were you like for example, like me, that I grew up with the original trilogy, and then when I was a kid in 1999, I saw the prequels to 2005, and at first I thought, oh, Darth Vader, he's like the strongest villain ever, and then seeing Anakin Skywalker rise to be Darth Vader, it's like, he's not that scary though. So I think my perspective changed of Darth Vader. I don't see him that scary anymore. But I don't know about you. Do you still think Darth Vader is still the scary villain that everybody thought in the 70s?
No, I actually don't think he's, scary or anything. I just think he's a confused little child that wants his mom.
Yeah, I think so. The same. He's just this confused little kid that wanted the best for his mom and wanted better things for his life. He wanted to stop being a slave. He loved pod raising. He loved doing all these things that a kid normally would enjoy. And like any kid dreams of being in better places if they are in bad places. Everybody has this flow of, oh, I need to better up myself, and Qui-Gon rescuing, in a way, Anakin Skywalker. It's a little bit of a hope for Anakin that things will get better, but not really. In his point of view, nothing gets better. Everything seems to go worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But I think that even though things were getting worse, he still had a choice to redeem himself and do things. But after he accepted the ways in that moment in the prequels where he sits down next to Lord Sidious, and he has that discussion and that conversation on who Plagueis the Wise is, who the Jedi and the Sith are, and all that. That's when he starts to question more all the ways that he's been grown to be, and that really shows how things, even though you're supposedly going to a better place, your perspective can ruin things. Your ways of thinking and the manipulations some people can have towards you can completely change your point of view. But in your opinion, do you think Anakin had a chance to redeem himself, or do you think Anakin, there was no hope for him and that was destined to be?
That's a because I mean, he kinda did have like a choice to not be like that, but if he would have chose not to do those things because this isn't correct, this doesn't go with my Jedi code, or shit like that, like Luke wouldn't be born because he wouldn't been with Padme. He would never marry her. He would have never technically freed the Jedi. You know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff that needed to happen wouldn't have happened. So it's sad to admit that was his destiny, because it's a sad destiny, but it needed to happen. If it wouldn't, like, balance wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. I think the problem here is not just that Anakin wanted better things for himself and wanted to save Padme. I think the problem here is that the Chancellor was doing whatever it took to get things flowing. And if you see the films, and you see that when Jar Jar Binks gets elected senator, that's when things go down, in my opinion, because in that point they're having a meeting with all the senators, and he says, I grant all this power and full attention to the Chancellor. And I'm like, oh man, oh no, what are you doing? And like, that's when Yoda started to actually realize that, hey, this is not going right. This doesn't seem right.
I mean, yes, but also none of them knew like the senator was bad at all, because not even the Jedi could sense that until it was too late. Like they were all like, I'm not convinced, but there wasn't like, oh, we're totally against this. No, it wasn't until it was actually late that they can do nothing that everybody started noticing, oh, this guy is not what we thought.
Yeah, and I think if they would have stood with the idea that Yoda said, "Hey, he's too old to be a Padawan and be trained as a youngling," if they would have stood with that idea from the get-go, I guess we could have avoided all this. But where's the drama in this? You know, we need to follow the Jedi in order to get this Star Wars drama.
Yeah, because I found it stupid. I remember when I was like, why don't they want to accept him? And you were like, oh, because he's too old. I'm like, he's like 5. And you're like, no, but they take him like a year or months old. I'm like, what kind of cult is this?
A pretty sketchy cult. A pretty sketchy cult, in my opinion.
I remember the joke you did, but it's a joke in Spanish, so maybe it doesn't translate well. But the viejo verde joke.
Oh yeah. You know they say in Spanish, green old man. Green old man in Spanish means like an old man that likes
It's
to
like
do.
a pedophile.
It's not technically a pedophile. It's just an old man that likes to get their ways with young women.
Yeah, but it's used also for pedophile.
Yeah, it's also used for pedophile, but mostly it's just like 70-year-old men trying to get with a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 20-year-old.
And I was like, that's really weird. This old green man, kids, and he did the joke like viejo verde. I'm like, oh my god, no, you didn't.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because the Jedi Order is technically a religion. It has Jedi sacred text. It has a creed. It has all those little bits and pieces that makes it a religion. And if we want to compare it to castleism, they do take little kids to turn them into monks. And stuff.
If I were to compare it to a religion, I'd probably say Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, but some people do actually compare it to Buddhism, because actually George Lucas said he based himself through Buddhism.
No, but I mean like the cult thing, because a lot of people that were raised in the Jehovah's Witnesses religion, they do say it's a cult. I don't know how true or fake that is, but I have seen a couple of people say it.
I can let you know, because my mom's family, most of them are Jehovah's Witness. And it is kind of, I've been through some of their sermons, and it technically is a cult.
By the way, Dream Warrior, I was like, where's Dream Warrior? Where is he? He's supposed to be here. He knows I come here Mondays. He's supposed to be here listening to us talk about what I think.
She was actually pretty devastated when she didn't saw you on the chat, and I'm like, oh wait, Dream Warrior's not here, and I looked and you weren't there, and she texted me, hey, where's Dream Warrior? It's not gonna be the same without Dream Warrior. Like Mondays are meant for Dream Warrior.
Well, not actually meant, but you're an important part of the show.
Exactly, yeah. And I like to acknowledge my listeners who have a role in this, because I don't do this for myself nor for my girlfriend itself. I do this for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I guess it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's for you guys. It's not for me. It's I do this for all you Star Wars fans out there, and music enthusiasts and soundtrack lovers.
I think we got a little on the movies.
Yeah, we did got a little sidetrack here, but in terms of the characters that were shown in the prequels, like Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul. Yeah.
My man.
Qui-Gon, you like Qui-Gon?
Of course.
Liam Neeson does a really awesome job portraying Qui-Gon Jinn, and I think
I cried. I cried so much.
With the death of Qui-Gon,
Like in general, I cried throughout the whole movie. Like, let me be honest. Since episode 6, I've been crying my heart out with this. Like, man, it hurts.
Yeah, I it does hurt. It does feel weird the way that all the characters are just shown for glimpses, you know. And if you look at the whole story itself, I think Liam Neeson was literally the portrayal of what a Jedi should be. Not the strongest Jedi like Anakin. I mean, like what a Jedi should be. He had his own line of thought. He was, you know, okay with the creed. He was following orders as he was meant to follow the orders. He was a Jedi Master, well put together, and pretty good. And he was calm and collected. No matter how stressful the situations could get, he was always calm and collected, the way a Jedi should be.
Since there's so many similarities of different characters, is there enough of Qui-Gon?
No, they haven't done anything with that.
They needed to do that. Why no?
Well, there's a sort of problem with doing spin-offs of Qui-Gon, because even though Qui-Gon, the only thing that we have so far of Qui-Gon is an animated story show called Tales of the Jedi. They're like 6 episodes, and we do see Qui-Gon younger. We do see Count Dooku younger. If I remember correctly, Count Dooku, when he was a Jedi, he was the master of Qui-Gon. So that's a whole story that we can delve into. We can get straight into that one next if you want. Tales of the Jedi is one of my favorite recent animations. Besides, yeah, I know. I don't even want to go in order. But Tales of the Jedi actually connects to the prequels. You do end up knowing what happened in Camino.
You have been talking a lot about Obi-Wan series, and I've been wanting to cry it out.
Oh! I want you to read. I want you to witness that Reva story. The Reva story. Did you saw my status on WhatsApp earlier today?
No, because I said spoilers.
That's a scene from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and it's when one of the younglings that survived confronts the Darth.
Boy, I said I didn't watch it because spoilers, and then you come here and tell me, okay, what you didn't see because of spoilers, I'm not like, boy, what the fuck?
I haven't spoiled you because you don't know who she is, where she is, why she's there.
You just said one of the surviving younglings.
That's just half the battle. I'm not even touching the surface of all of it.
Don't even do anything about it.
Yeah, but you know, if you want, we can go straight to that one because, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Obi-Wan series is literally right after episode 3. Right after episode 3.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
And it's only 6 episodes, 40 minutes each.
Oh, it sounds like a good watch. I want to see it. But I know I'm going to cry, and I'm not prepared to cry some more.
You're going to cry midway and at the end.
Can you please tell this guy that I was sobbing? I was drinking my tears.
Oh, not just drinking your tears, but when she was going to bed, literally, we talk we talk until we fall asleep on the phone. And literally, as we were falling asleep, she starts sobbing again all of a sudden. And I'm like, well, wait, what's happened? Did I say something wrong? Did I offend you with something in the conversation? The younglings, they were killed. I'm like, oh.
No, it's not. Okay, it's not that he killed the youngling. It's the whole scene. Like, the younglings see him, and they're like, Master Skywalker, what did we do? Trusting him. They're like, he's gonna protect us because he's part of us. And then he comes out with fucking lightsaber stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
This.
And
No.
it's really devastating. Like I didn't see it that way until I'm rewatching it with my girlfriend, because usually I just try not to pay too much attention to the jungling scene because that's too dark for me.
And I
But
was
now I have to
sobbing.
pay attention a bit more because I was gonna actually talk about it on the show in like detail with someone that has never seen it before, and I wanted my girlfriend to actually witness it. I literally never saw it that way, that the younglings were actually looking for some backup with Anakin after Order 66 had happened, you know? And wow, it hits different when you put it into that perspective.
No, my mind was
I was
like,
so
you're gonna notice.
look at it, what an asshole, what an asshole. That was literally my perspective back then. But then
I was
now we
crying
like, oh,
during
no,
everything
younglings are
that
actually
happened after
believing,
that.
and we're looking for refuge with Master Skywalker. That, if you see it that way, it hurts more. It hurts way much more.
It hurt a lot. And everything that happened after it, like even though Anakin did that to the kid, I was crying because when he didn't die, he got burned and almost died. I was crying. I was like, poor baby, what have you done? Why did you do it? You didn't have to. I was so emotional, and I'm still emotional. And if I remember it, like if I don't try to ignore it, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird and kind of, you know, mean in a way, how after the whole battle with Obi-Wan and Anakin and all that, Palpatine just goes, oh, he's still salvageable, and then picks him up and takes him to turn him into Darth Vader.
Hey, one thing we know, Palpatine doesn't get rid of stuff until there's nothing left. If he had a toy when he was little, he would have played the fuck out of that toy.
Oh, for sure. Even if the toy was like a stuffed animal, and the animal only had one leg left.
If it was like a bunny, it could be only like the foot, like that's left, and he's like, this is still a bunny, and I'm gonna still be playing with it. It's still used.
Yeah, and this bunny has unlimited power, so
it has unlimited power.
And then he goes, and I'll call you Darth Bunny.
Who did they live a life that you didn't like? I'm reading the comments. Sorry. Hey,
no,
spoilers.
Yep, spoilers.
Who cares anymore? Like, if I didn't want spoilers, I should have watched this when I was little.
It's like Marvel nowadays. Marvel and DC not getting a spoiler out of that.
Okay. Being like on par with Marvel is a little bit easier than being on par with Star Wars. You know.
Marvel's a bit easier to get into than Star Wars.
You did like actually not see anything from Marvel and go and watch One Division, and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm kind of understanding this story.
Yep, Star Wars, everything. And I mean, everything. It's like, imagine if Marvel was just the Avengers. And everything that happens before the Avengers that connect to the Avengers. That's technically what Star Wars does. Everything.
I want to mention something.
Yeah?
The roast your brother did, because I said I didn't understand why they were like wars in every movie.
Oh, yeah. So the thing is that my girlfriend was kind of lost. Why is there a war? Like Star Wars film, and she's like,
I understood the story, but if you were asking me why is there a war in X and X movie, I'll be like, I don't know, they're just fighting, they're bored.
Yeah, and then I told that to my brother that some people, including my girlfriend, were getting lost. Why is there a random war in a random scene? the Battle of Yavin, the Battle of Scarif, and all those wars, the battle in Geonosis, all on the one in Naboo with the battle droids and all that. All those in Kashyyyk, the war that happens in Kashyyyk, all those wars, they're explained were, let me guess, on the yellow text. And after my girlfriend telling me that, and me realizing that they're only explained better within the yellow text, it gave me this impression that, wait, that was the most weakest way to explain that there's war happening on Star Wars. I didn't realize that. I always understood where there was war, but I never realized how weak and how vague it is to explain something on some yellow text before the whole thing. Like, come on.
Then you told me something. He said, like, the yellow text that we see in the beginning of the movies is written after the whole movie is made. And I'm like, you're telling me that this whole ass battle gets made, and then he's like, oh, wait, I got to give it a story why they're in a war. Somebody stole toilet paper and shit happened.
Technically, because I saw a documentary. I don't know if it was on YouTube or Instagram or something. It was like a snippet of a documentary, and it turns out that they wrote all those yellow text crawling intros after the whole thing was produced and ready to release.
So this boy has been doing like wars, and he doesn't even know why they're fighting. So me not knowing is valid. Sorry, I was reading that Dream Warrior's comment.
Yeah. So that's why we have war in Star Wars, and that's how they get explained. You know, war happens because either the political trade or the Empire wants to strike on the rebels or some shit like that. You know.
But like I was gonna mention, I love the and then Andre told me like a lot of people, and I'm like, what? I've been loving them.
Yeah, lots of people hated the prequels, and I remember when I started to like follow a lot more Star Wars content on Twitter, because I was only following on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram this whole time in my entire life since they all came out. But I wasn't really following on Twitter because I had Twitter exclusively for Metal and World of Warcraft. And when I started following a lot, I saw a meme, not a meme, like a picture of someone that took a picture of their dog. It's like, look what my dog did. He ate all the prequels. This dog has culture. He knows what he's doing. What? So you're gonna praise your dog for destroying your special edition prequel collectors, really expensive DVDs of the prequels? No. Oh, for sure. And they were the expensive version. You know, the collector's. That's not nice. And someone saying, good dog, you destroyed the correct ones. Good thing you didn't get Return of the Jedi. I'm like, what?
I mean, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but why would you be annoyed by 1, 2, 3? You know, I never saw the whole thing why people hated 1, 2, 3.
They probably don't like the think about it. The people just focus on Anakin.
Yeah, and the 4, 5, 6, they mostly connect to, you know, Darth Vader and the Empire and this whole war between the rebels and the Galactic Empire. And for some people, that's more interesting than just seeing this guy turn Darth Vader.
Nah, I just love Anakin.
Oh, Anakin is one of the most loved characters. People were so hyped when he was released again on the Clone Wars. Sadly, for your likings, the voice actor for the Clone Wars is not Hayden Christensen.
Damn.
So you're going to have a slightly different tone of voice, But in my opinion, and mixed with a little bit of opinion from Rebel Force Radio,
Is that the movie we're gonna watch next Monday?
we're gonna watch the Clone Wars, but we're also gonna, after watching the Clone Wars, we have to dive into the series because that's what happens after the.
After we finish the movie.
You're gonna leave the series for later.
Yes.
All right, no problems. But legitimately in release order, right after the Clone Wars film, the series.
I want to get out of the way that they're the longest I got to sit for, and then we can watch the series. I see a few episodes.
And then we can. I can lend you my Audible account, and you can listen to books if you want to listen to the books.
We will cross that bridge when we get to that.
All right. That's a thing. So, based on the three villains we see on the prequels, we see Darth Maul, we see Count Dooku, and we see the one and only Darth Vader. Who are those? Think was the coolest for you?
Who are those?
Yeah.
It's kind of the Maul.
Ooh, Darth Maul for me was the coolest of them three. Even though we know about Darth Vader the most, but we don't get to understand Darth Maul.
Is there a story known about Darth Maul?
In Clone Wars, we get to understand him a bit better, and we see someone else from the same planet called Opreth.
Okay. Is that okay? I'm not like a huge fan of Darth Maul as you, but I do like his fighting style. I love how he moves. It seems so smooth, like it's not forced.
Yep, and if you freeze frame a lot with Darth Maul, he technically flew while swinging the lightsaber.
I remember that you told me. He does all his stunts. The actor does all the and then he starts flying and like, oh, he flies too?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, no, that's a liar. I thought he did all his stunts.
Yeah. Darth Maul is the actor Ray Parker. He is the only actor in the entire Star Wars franchise that he does his own stunts, compared to other actors that they need a double. So yeah, that's what interests me the most. And speaking of Ray Parker, I actually met Ray Parker in a convention for like I don't know, like 3 minutes.
Oh my god! Fun girl moment.
Oh, that's okay.
You were drooling when you were seeing it, when you were talking about like this and that. I'm like, oh boy, you're fangirling over this man.
Yeah,
I'm getting jealous.
That's what you said.
What do you mean?
You said something. You didn't say I was fangirling. You said something else.
I don't remember.
You said stop simping.
Oh yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, I'm not simping. Am I? Am I simping? Technically.
You're a simp. Not a said, you're a simp.
I'm a simp for sure. So, wrapping things up here, overall, how do you feel about Star Wars now? And what are your expectations continuing from this point on with Clone Wars, Rebels?
Well, with the Clone Wars animated movie, I'm not expecting much. I think I'm not gonna like it.
Really?
Yeah, I have that feeling. My mind is like, you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like this movie, but I hope my mind is lying to me.
You will have some of that of your mindset thrown in there, but not for the most part.
No. Also, I wanted to comment this because when I was starting to see the moon, I said, if I would have had a lightsaber, it would be a red lightsaber. And you explained to me that the ones that have red lightsabers are Sith. Yeah. Did I say that right?
Yeah, they're Sith.
Like, I confirmed that I would have like something similar to that. I would have been so weak-minded and I would have fallen to the dark side. I don't know if I would have killed younglings though, because that was, you know, but I do think I would have fallen to the dark side.
Yeah. There's no such thing as red kyber crystals. The only way there is a red kyber crystal is that their vibe, their force turns evil, and and it bleeds, starts bleeding.
Yeah, you told me about that. I don't mind. I will make mine bleed.
Yeah. Like it's a really interesting way to put it out, because it would have been kind of boring if your dark side, just that your force was red and yada yada and you're evil. No, it's cooler this way, because most people that end up as a Sith or as a Dark Jedi or as a Inquisitor, they were once good and they slowly fall, and it's a representation that their kyber crystal breaks, so does their force sensitivity and their stuff. They break and they go dark. So it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I would have been a Sith Lord.
Yeah. And she would have been the true Sith Lord, you know.
What would have been mine, though? They all had dark, but what would have been mine?
I don't know, Darth. I don't know. That's a good question.
Darth pendeja. Just because I'm Latin.
Yeah, Darth. For those of you that don't know Spanish, pendeja means dumbass. Darth, dumbass. And she,
yeah, that would have been me. That would have been me.
Yeah. So anyways, thank y'all for listening, and this has been awesome here. This has been great, and this were my thoughts on the prequels and my girlfriend's thoughts on the prequels and Star Wars in general so far. And we are up for good and awesome stuff here. May the all of you. And if you want to say something to finish it off, Kiraitone, may the floor is all yours, and speak away. You can take all the
I
time.
just want you guys to know that watching the prequels was my idea. I wasn't forced into it. I forced him to watch it with me. We were just in FaceTime, and we were talking about the prequels, and then let's watch it. So yeah, this was just me. And not Andre being like, so are you gonna watch the prequels or not?
Yeah. And with Attack of the Clones, she was even showering and watching at the same time, because she puts her phone like in a corner, and she was still watching while showering. She couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
Like, at all. So anyways, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
This was Star Wars Chatter, your safe space with Star Wars, music, video games, and other geeky topics. Listen on AMP, the Amazon Radio app, and get yourself started by listening to my music on every major music platform under Andrew Van Lark. But if you want to have more information, go to my website, www.andrewvanzart.com, where you can find all my social medias, music, and everything else all in one page. Trust in the Force, no lights beating, and buckle up. Now you're listening with power. Power to the music, and may the Force be with you.
TV.